Hello, I'm Charlene Favorite, the fascinating wife, bringing peace into your home, love into your relationships, and joy into your hearts. In today's video, I want to go over the topic of how to show your husband attention daily. This is actually an article on my blog page, and it's part of a series of understanding your husband one-on-one and building a stronger, happy marriage. Okay, so you can find this article on my blog page under the description of marriage and follow the other series that I've posted about previously. So I've spoken about acceptance for your husband. I've spoken about admiration for your husband. I've also spoken about appreciation for your husband. However, there is one other principle that I would like to add to the list of daily deposits, and that deposit is attention. Okay, so wives are phenomenal at showing attention to their husbands before marriage. So before marriage, wives notice if their fiance gets a haircut, if they cut their beard, if they get a new shirt. They are hanging on the very words that their fiance utters. Before marriage, when it comes down to work, wives are ready to listen to the horror stories and listen to the funny stories that happens on the job without complaint, right? After marriage, husbands have competition for the attention of their wife. Once children are added to the family, it's more of a struggle for the husband to really receive the attention that he's needed. So it is mainly the children that receive most of the attention from the wife. This usually happens. I can't tell you how many times I've heard it before. You may be protesting right now. You may be saying, well, my husband used to pay more attention to me before. Also, what can I do about that? And that is such a valid question. But in working on ourselves as wives, especially for this new year, right, we must focus on the one person that we can change, which is ourselves. We cannot change our spouse. We cannot change anyone, really. We can inspire others to be great, but we cannot change anyone, right? So this is not about manipulation. This is all about changing you and your perspective. So I want you to keep that in mind. There are endless ways to give your husband that attention that he deserves, right? So going back to how it used to be before you were married. So we can start with showing interest in the details of his work. That is a big component. And if you have been following up on the other episodes and looking at the different articles that I've been posting on my blog page, you would know that your husband's work is important to him because this is how he provides for the family. This is how he's making the living for you. So showing interest in the one area of his life that he cares about is going to make a difference in how he accepts your attention that you're giving him. So, other areas to show interest are, and this is for showing attention, are in his hobbies, right? In his food preferences, in his thoughts, in his feelings, in his comforts, and in his opinions. So these are things that we can show attention, or these are areas that we can show attention in for our husbands. If you're anything like some of the women that I have spoken with in the past, they are only concerned with their husband's job if a sexy coworker has been hired, right? Or if their husband is getting some type of raise from the company. So the routine question about work in general are never really considered, and they're really not an interest to a lot of wives. Some wives zone in and out of the conversation for the sake of appearing interested while rolling their eyes maybe after 3 minutes of hearing it. They're like, okay, I've heard this before, or okay, I kind of expect this answer, right? So instead of that, we want to show attention to our husbands, and I'll be kind of listing out ways you can do that today. Um, Listening to your husband is like playing tennis. So your husband serves you with an experience that he's focused on and is now bringing to your attention. So that's him hitting the tennis ball towards you. So now you have the option to end the game, which in this case will be agreeing or quickly disagreeing to dismiss the conversation, or you have the option of serving back. And this is, in this case, by asking engaging questions. So the whole goal of you showing attention is to serve the tennis ball back to your husband. And that is how you want to keep the attention shown between you two in a conversation. So, good listening and showing attention does require eye contact, okay? This is something that in this generation we're not doing a lot of. I see it all the time when I'm out to dinner. It's not a mutual respect in eye contact. So, that is one way to show good listening skills. Engaging body language, open questionings, such as, tell me what you did. Tell me more about it. What happened when you did that? What was it like? And what did they say? These are questions that are open and they show that you are engaging in the conversation. This will require you to look at your husband without your phone in your hand. So don't look away obsessively, or don't text while he's talking to you. Don't tell him like, yeah, babe, let me just make this one post and then I'll be able to listen to you. It's not a good way to show effective communication skills, especially face to face with your husband. Can you imagine how you would feel if your husband did these things to you? Because I know if I'm talking to my husband and if he's on the phone, I'm like, okay, you're not listening. So I can just imagine how he would feel. So if your phone rings, ignore it. Okay. Or let the person know who is calling you that you're speaking to your husband and that you will return their call when available. So it goes back, it's like a little bit of etiquette in there too. If you must take the call, let your husband know that you want to finish up the conversation as soon as you're finished on the phone. So you can tell your husband, babe, wait, pause, put a comma. I'll be right back. I just have to take this call. And then as soon as we are finished with the phone, I'll be able to come back to the conversation. Now, when you come back to the conversation, really come back and pick up where you left off. So depending on what you're talking about, you can say, okay, babe, so you said the customer called and they complained, and then what happened? So that's you picking up the conversation where it left off, and you're just continuing it in an open-ended question and not like a closed-ended question. Giving attention is not only limited to conversations, though. So showing attention to your husband also means you're showing awareness for his presence. When he walks into a room, do you pay attention to him? Do you look up at him? Or are you still doing whatever you're doing? And it's also a way to show attention for who he is in your life. Okay, so my husband tells stories that I've heard so many times, yet I listen to it like it's my first time. Like my first time hearing it, jokes and everything. And you could do the same thing too. When your husband tells a joke or a story in front of a group of people, listen and laugh as if it's your first time hearing it. This will show others around you how much you show attention to your husband, okay? And it's also going to show that you are interested in what your husband has to say, even if you've heard it 100 times. So don't comment remarks about you already hearing the story, or that you want to change the conversation with another direction. That's completely embarrassing to your husband, and it will surely emasculate him in some type of way. So try not to do that. Return to the little favors you did for your husband before marriage. Some wives completely stop doing the nice things that they did before marriage. Maybe before marriage, you were making your fiance feel like a king. You would cook the meals that he likes. You would maybe, I don't know, just do something special that you no longer do. So make him feel like a king, even if it means making his favorite dish just the way he likes it. Even if it means that you can start serving him before the children. Even if it means that he wants to be the center of your life, make him feel that he is, and he should be. Make him feel that he really is. Don't make him feel like he's second best, because this is your life partner. And when the children are away, whether they're in college or even when they get older, it'll just be you and your husband. You'll be empty nesters, and you'll have to kind of reintroduce yourself all over again to him, and you want to kind of bypass that part, already know each other, already have spent time together, already love each other very dearly, and then you can continue out the relationship. So um, you want to make sure that your decorating or your weight loss goal or your children or your social calendar and your friends are not people that come first. Okay, so remember, all humans crave someone who is interested in their details. They want someone to know who they are and to care. How frustrating it is. I know some wives who would get frustrated if their husband doesn't appear to know them. Some wives complain all the time, even on social media. I see it on other blogs and everything. Wives are like, well, my husband doesn't even know that I love sunflowers or I love roses. He acts like he doesn't even know me. That's a big component because it's all about paying attention. Wives have tons of opportunities to listen to their husbands and give their husbands the attention that they truly deserve. So make him feel number one. Make him feel that no one else in the world can come close to caring and knowing him like you do. That is really going to pay off. With all of this, plan pleasures and delights for him. Save your best energy for your husband. Run him a bath one day. Make him a refreshing drink. Find a recipe on Pinterest. Plant the seed of staying focused to be committed and attentive as a wife, and watch how everything else changes for you. Again, you can find this information on my blog post. If you go to www.thefascinatingwife.com, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. You can send me an email. If you go to the website and go under contact, you'll be able to email me right from the website, or you can just leave it in the description box below. So I hope you understood everything I was trying to say, and I hope that it will be helpful to someone out there who may need to know one of the eight, I would say eight, one of the 8 keys of foundational success to a happy marriage. Thank you. Good night.